is no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Time again for the Underdog Show, starring that champion of champions, Underdog.
When criminals in this world appear and bring the laws that they should fear and frighten all who see or hear, the cry goes up both far and near for Underdog. 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 Speed of lightning, roar of thunder, fighting all who love or plunder. Underdog.
In our last episode, the King and Odie, searching for the very ancient, very valuable brass monkey, had ventured into Monkey Canyon. From his high seat in the trees, King Leonardo had a bird's-eye view of the famous brass monkey.
Look, True Blue Odie, the brass monkey.
King Leonardo had found the very valuable brass monkey, but unknown to the King and Odie, they had been followed to the canyon. Now, high above them, two villainous villains looked on.
I found it, Itch, so we're rich.
Yeah, when they get it up and over, we're in clover. Unaware of the villain's presence, the King and Odie had other problems to take care of.
Here, Your Majesty. Hold on to my... Oops!
Confound it! Odie, confound it, where are you, Odie? Oh, there you are. Are you all right?
Yes, sire.
Good. Then let's get on with the job. Oh, my goodness. The brass monkey is much bigger than I expected.
And heavy, sire. Very heavy.
How will we ever get it out of this canyon, Odie? We could never carry it up that steep cliff.
I have an idea, sire.
And Odie's idea was a good one. Carefully, one end of a long vine was attached to the brass monkey. Then the King and Odie carried the other end of the vine up to the top of the cliff.
There. We're up. What now, True Blue Odie?
Well, sire, if we hook this vine over that overhanging tree, we can then hold on to the end of the vine and jump off together. Our weight will make the brass monkey come to the top.
Splendid, Odie. Splendid indeed. Yeah, splendid, King, see? It plays right into our hands. When that monkey comes to the top, we grab it, see?
Yeah, Big, I think.
Why, this is fun, Odie, and it's working.
Now, sire, we'll just tie this end of the vine here and climb back up to get the brass monkey.
You! Look who's making a monkey out of you!
Oh, no. It's Biggie and Itchy Brother. And they're stealing the statue.
They won't get far, sire. The monkey is too heavy. We can catch them if we hurry.
Try this for size, guys!
Confound it, your heads will roll tomorrow. Yeah, while rocks will roll today.
Sire, are you all right?
I won't be all right until we catch those traitors.
Oh, we can do it, sire. They're only a stone's throw away.
But True Blue Odie had not reckoned with the cunning of Biggie Rat.
They've got a boat. So long, Kings, eh?
Bon voyage, brother.
They're getting away, Odie. What can we do?
Never fear, sire. At Monkey Falls, they will have to leave the boat and climb on foot. We shall catch them there. Hurry, sire.
Gee, Big, that's like a tall fall. How do we get the monkey up?
Simple, Edge. We'll do just what the King and Odie did in Monkey Canyon.
And so they did. And once again, the plan worked perfectly.
See what I mean? I know what I'm talking about. Now we just tie this vine and climb back up, say.
Look here, you traitors! My king has beaten you at your own game.
Yes, at your own game!
Yeah, look, Big. They're like making a monkey out of us. What do we do now?
We do nothing, Jungle Jerk. We'll let them do the work of getting the statue to town. Then, we'll steal it as soon as they put it on display.
What diabolical new plan does Biggie have? Will the king be caught off guard? We'll find out in our next episode, Making a Monkey Shine.
In one of Tennessee's and Chumley's wildest adventures, they tried to start their own coal mine, which by a small error in engineering turned out to be under the office building of Stanley Livingston, keeper of the zoo. However, the adventure did not end there, for in digging the tunnel they weakened the foundation, and gradually the building began to settle to one side. At first it was not too bad, but every day it got worse, and worse, and worse.
Flunky! Flunky!
Yeah, boss. Oh!
This has gone far enough. Get me out of here! Look at that building. Just look at it.
It looks a little cockeyed to me, Stanley.
You! It's your fault. You and that crazy coal mine. Ooh, every time I think of it...
You're right, Stanley. Absolutely right. And I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to straighten out that building and...
You are going to do no such thing. No. Don't you dare touch that building. You've done enough damage already. Now I'm going to town and get a professional builder to straighten it out and put a new foundation under it. Come on, Flunky.
No sooner had Stanley left than Tennessee started making plans.
All right now, Chumley, let's get to work.
But in Tennessee, how can we fix it?
Chumley, it's a very small building, and with my brains and your back, we can have it straightened out in no time. We'll start right here. You just lift up that corner, and I'll slip a rock under it. All right? Lift. Lift. Come on, Chumley, lift. It hasn't budged an inch.
Gee, Tennessee, it's just too heavy for me.
I know. We'll get a rope and pull it up straight. All right, Chumley, heave. Heave. Heave, heave, heave. Well, Chumley, it's obvious that your brawn won't do it, so I'll just have to use my brains.
You mean you're gonna lift it with your head?
No, Chumley, of course not. I mean, we're going to see Mr. Whoopi, the man with all the answers.
But how are we gonna get out of the zoo?
We'll use escape plan number 4526A. You go get the old barrel, and I'll get the firecrackers. All right, Chumley, the fuse is lit, and we're about to shoot the works. Stanley's old fence can't stop us. Tennessee Tuxedo will not fail! Not quite enough firepower. We need just a few more firecrackers. Okay, here we go again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1...
And at last, our two heroes were well on their way to see Mr. Whoopi, the man with all the answers.
Well, Tennessee and Chumley. Nice of you boys to drop in. Get it? Yes. Well, what can I do for you today?
Quickly, Tennessee stated their problem.
And even Chumley couldn't lift it, Mr. Whoopi.
Well, now, that is a weighty problem. But I think we can solve it. Now, what you boys need is a machine.
Of course, a machine.
Like a steam shovel?
Don't be ridiculous, Chumley. He means a big crane to lift the building.
Neither one. Those machines are much too complicated for you to use. Oh, indeed. I'm talking about what is called a simple machine.
Simple?
Yes. Remember, a machine is any device that does work for you. There are 6 simple machines. The lever, the wedge, the pulley, the screw, the inclined plane, and the wheel and axle.
Now, where can we get one of these simple machines to help us lift Stanley's old building?
Anywhere, my boy. Simple machines are all around us. Come on out to the barn and I'll show you all of them. Now, here we use a simple machine to get water out of the well. Water is pretty heavy, and it would be hard work to pull a bucket of water out of the well. But by using the wheel and axle, it comes up easily. The simple machine has worked for us.
Fine. But we can't use a wheel and an axle to straighten out that building.
Not unless it was at the bottom of a well.
Chumley.
Well, here's another simple machine used for lifting things. It's called a pulley. Now, this big barrel is much too heavy for Chumley to lift.
Mm-hmm.
But when I hook on the pulley, even you can lift it, Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's another very simple machine for moving heavy weights. It's called an inclined plane. I couldn't lift the barrel up to that platform, but if I use this board to make an inclined plane, I can roll the barrel up without any trouble at all. And this old piano stool is a good example of the fourth simple machine called the screw. Look closely and you'll see it's really an inclined plane wrapped around a shaft. When Chumley sits on the stool, I can give him a spin, and up he goes.
But, Mr. Whoopi, we can't use piano stools on Stanley's building. What simple machine can we use?
Patience, my boy. I'm coming to it in a second. First, I want to show you the most simple of the simple machines. It's called a wedge. See, if I hit this log with a hammer, nothing happens. But if I put the wedge to work and hit it, the log splits in two.
Very interesting, Mr. Whoopi, but we don't want to split logs. We want to lift a building.
Of course, my boy. I'm going to show you how, with a simple machine called a lever, it can make you strong enough to lift Chumley with one hand. Think of it. Now, a lever needs a helper called a fulcrum. Now, we'll just use this log for the fulcrum and this board for the lever. Now, when Chumley stands on the short end and you push down on the long end, you can lift him with one hand.
Wow.
And the longer the lever, the more you can lift.
Gee, Tennessee, if you had a lever long enough, you could move the whole world.
Don't be ridiculous.
That's just what Archimedes said 2,000 years ago. He's right, Tennessee.
Then we'll have no trouble lifting up the corner of the building.
Not at all, my boy.
Phineas J. Whoopi, you're the greatest. Thanks a million. Come on, Chumley. There you are, Chumley, all set with the lever and fulcrum. Now, when I lift up the side of the building, you shove one of those big rocks under it. All right, here we go. There now. Does that look level?
It looks a little too high on this side.
Oh, well, easy to fix with our simple machine, Chumley. We'll just put a rock under the other side. There, now it's level.
I think it looks just a trifle higher on this side.
You're right, Chumley. So we'll just put another rock on the other side.
But try as they did, they could not seem to get the building level. First they raised one side and then the other. Back and forth. Back and forth. Until at last, when Stanley Livingston came back.
Yeah! Tennessee Tuxedo!
Hiya, Stanley. Got your building almost level. One more rock and...
It's 40 feet in the air!
So what's a few extra steps?
Oh, back to your quarters immediately!
But Stanley...
Now, before I lose my temper!
All right, Stanley, if that's the way you feel about it. Come on, Chumley.
Tennessee Tuxedo, when I get my hands on you!
Gee, Tennessee, I wonder what simple machine we should use now.
A simple flying machine would be very handy.
In the valley of the Nile stood the giant ancient pyramids of Egypt. The pyramids had been a landmark for years. And then, block by block, stone by stone, they began to disappear, until not a trace was left. The entire world reacted. In Paris,
This is a terrible loss.
in England,
It's a low bloke what done it. Let Scotland Yard have a go at it.
from Russia,
Another bourgeoisie imperialist plot.
and from America,
Those pyramids are nowhere, Jack.
and from Officer Flynn Flanagan. There's no doubt of it. It's another terrible plot of that crafty villain, the Fox. I've already sent for the hunter. Soon the private eye hunter was winging his way to Egypt in his private plane. According to my precise calculations, I should be right over the spot. Seeing a giant X marking the spot, the hunter nosed his plane down and made his usual perfect landing. Unfortunately, however, the X the hunter had seen was actually a large railroad crossing. The steel-trapped mind of the hunter recognized that he would be unable to travel further in his private plane. And so, the end of the line came just inside the boundary of Egypt. Woo-wee, son, that's a mighty thick accent you got. You from up north? Yeah, you got problems, son. A fella talks like you do needs an interpreter.
You called Sahib?
Well, now, I declare I sure did, son. How can I get to the pyramids?
Pyramids gone.
Gone? Oh, yeah. Well, of course they are. That's why I'm here. Point is, I got to get to the scene of the crime.
You want camel?
Well, now, do I have to walk a mile for one? Yeah. Be alert, son. Oh, yes. Camel will do just fine. After a long and somewhat monotonous journey, the hunter reached the place where the great pyramids had stood. Immediately, the hunter threw himself into the cage. Wait up for just one tick-tock, stranger. My name's the Hunter. Have nose, will hunt. I'd be much obliged if you'd give me a description of those stolen pyramids. Well, now, there's one for the book, son. There's a fella down the road a piece, speaks just like you do. You two ought to get together. Now, this Sphinx fella you're talking about, you think he might know where the fox took those pyramids?
Sphinx know everything.
Well, now, there's a fella worth meeting up with. Where can I find him, son?
That way.
How do, stranger? They tell us how you can help me out on this big pyramid case. Where is that crafty fox hiding those pyramids? Now, look here, Sphinx. I represent the law. There's ways of making a fella talk, you know. All right there, tight lips, take that.
Yeah! Greetings, stranger. You gave the secret knock, which must mean that you are here to purchase some of my heavyweight writing paper. Preserve your words forever, my friend, and each order comes complete with hammer and chisel. Here, just feel the weight of that.
That's heavy, all right. Heavy as a stone block, I'd say. How much to... Oop!
Yow!
Hunter, it's surely a genius you are, finding the crafty fox and the pyramid blocks. How can we ever repay you? Well, forget it, son, but you might lock up this Sphinx fella for refusing to talk.
Who that man, Sahib?
That, me boy, is the Hunter.
In our last episode, King Leonardo and True Blue Odie Coloni had found the very ancient, very valuable brass monkey. But while they were getting the huge statue out of Monkey Canyon, it had been stolen by Biggie Rat and Itchy Brother. The villains had escaped by boat, but up Monkey River at Monkey Falls, the King and Odie had shrewdly recovered the brass monkey.
Hey, look, Big, they're like making a monkey out of us. What do we do now?
We do nothing, Jungle Jerk. We'll let them do the work of getting the statue to town, see? And then we'll steal it as soon as they put it on display. Get it?
Yeah, okay, Big. I dig.
And now, hours later at the Royal Palace, Odie Coloni was saying,
Yes, sire. I fear that Biggie Rat will surely try again to steal the statue.
That's exactly why we're going to put it here, Odie, on the 5th floor of the palace. It will be much safer than at the museum.
And when the tourists come to see the brass monkey, they can also see the palace.
Of course. Come now, we must fix up a foolproof alarm system. I'm taking no chances with Biggie Rat.
And so the ingenious king attached one end of a long string to the brass monkey. Then the other end of the string was carried down one flight of stairs, then down the long ramp to the other wing of the palace, up the royal stairs and into the royal bedroom.
Now, Odie, I'll just tie this end of the string to this bell.
I see, sire. And if the brass monkey is moved, the bell will ring.
Exactly. Just like this.
The king's elaborate alarm system was a good idea indeed. For sure enough, as the tourists began filing into the palace to see the very ancient, very valuable brass monkey, two of the tourists looked highly suspicious.
Okay, Itch.
break away from the mob and hide.
You hide first, Big. I'll count.
1 O'Leary, 2 O'Leary.
This is no game, playboy. We've got to hide out till they close this place.
Late that night, when the display room was empty and dark, Biggie and Itchy emerged from their hiding place.
All right, this is it. The monkey's ours, see? Itchy, you go find a dolly.
Dolly? We gonna play house, Big? I'll be the papa and...
Not that kind of dolly. I mean a platform with wheels, see? To help us get the monkey out of here.
Soon the dolly was located, but the moment the criminals lifted the brass monkey, King Leonardo's alarm bell sounded.
An alarm. Hurry, Itch, we gotta get this thing out of here.
Won't shut off. I'll just toss it.
Oh, sire, it's the alarm. Biggie and Itchy must be stealing the brass monkey.
Quickly, the King and Odie hurried toward the other wing of the palace. Meanwhile...
roll, roll, roll your loot gently down the stairs.
At the bottom of the stairs, the dolly reached a long ramp and started down.
Yo, you look like slow down.
Hang on, Butterfingers, and hold that monkey.
Oh, hey, you.
Finally, the villains had reached the bottom of the ramp. But at that very moment...
Look! Kingsy and Odie! Quick, get this thing back up the ramp. We'll hide in that closet at the top. Just a little bit more and...
Look out, Big! We like lost our grip!
Run for your life!
Stand aside, sire. I think the traitors are about to get their just desserts.
Yes, the callous criminals had actually been caught by the very statue they tried to steal. And so, as just punishment, they were forced to spend their time making the monkey shine. But for how long? Will they escape again? Will they plot new plots against the king? Don't miss the next episode of The King and Odie.